Welcome back to more Resident Evil Requiem, and today I bitch and complain a lot. Yeah! Now we are in Racoon City, and for anybody familiar with the original Resident Evil 3, you should know why this is impossible, because Racoon City was literally nuked, wiped off the map.
It's like time stopped here.
If not for Umbrella, it could have just been a normal city.
Yeah. Now it's nothing but ash and memories.
Which is a damn shame. But what are you going to do? Except I'm going to complain because that's what I do. Yeah, the original 3 made it very clear that Racoon City was no more. And then I guess they retconned that with the remake of 3. I was under the impression the city was still wiped out even in the remake of 3, but I guess not. Which I find pretty stupid. This is also the first video in the series that I've not done any test playing on, so that's unfortunate. I wanted to see if I could break that car, but there were no windows to break. And that sucks for fans of the original Resident Evil games, because Capcom is basically saying that they're no longer canon. So those games you loved, they don't count anymore. They may not overtly say that. They may come back and say, oh, no, we're saying this. Multiple timelines or something like that, but no. They're no longer canon. At least in this new iteration of Resident Evil. Which makes sense because the 2, 3, and 4 remakes play a lot like this. To some degree. Except they're better. But yeah, somebody who loves the original Resident Evil games and started playing the series in 2000... yeah, that ticks me off. I don't like that they did that. And they did it just for nostalgia, which I won't be able to talk about again for a while. In the original games, this was just a normal enemy, not a boss. I guess this is the devs' answer to complaints that spiders weren't in the 2 and 3 remakes. And what's annoying about this section is it's scripted. It's a scripted, you can't defeat this boss until we tell you to, for no reason segment. You can do some damage to it from what I've read, which is why I'm bothering to shoot it at all. But you can't actually defeat it until the game tells you you can. This is scripted as well. So this thing becomes a threat, not because it's strong, but because you're not allowed to kill it. I don't like that. Dickhead. I don't like how the camera moves around and the light's always moving around, so I can't see where the hell I'm going. Apparently, yes way. Yeah, I'm just not in love with how dark this game is either. Granted, it is lighter in Racoon City. There's not too much of this darkness, but Actually, I take that back. There is plenty of it. I think there's ammo in that direction if you want it. I won't go into ranting about how spiders should have been in 2 and 3 remakes, because they should have been. I'm already complaining a lot. But I feel like I have a right to, considering I do care about lore and story and characters and all that in a series. And this is a big plot point that they changed. And I didn't realize what button I needed to hit there. I don't figure that out until the 3rd time that happens. That time I just pressed buttons and hoped for the best. Anybody who's seen me try to deal with the swarm in Dead Space? Yeah, this goes about that well. Actually, it does go better, but this game is also easier than Dead Space. And for those of you on Rumble, if you would like to see my Dead Space playthrough, I can either link you to the YouTube version of it, or I can post it on Rumble. It would be the same playthrough, either way. We don't want to see Isaac's ballistics. Damn monsters. Yeah, this does seem like the devs saying, what, you wanted spiders? You got spiders. But we wanted them in 2 and 3 remakes. God! Out my way. I do like those moments where when you get grabbed, when you get out of the grab, you kill the enemy. God of War did that a lot, which I appreciate. Try to get ready because you can do some damage here. The camera goes all wonky and I'm not able to do it. I tried. I'm not sure if I hit that thing or not. I don't think I did, but I might have. Yeah, we're just in this scripted running segment. I don't know if this is how all boss fights in modern games are.
You're a real pest, you know that?
That's right. Fortunately, we are in the now you can defeat it stage of the fight. But I like a good boss fight where it's just a test of skill, a test of everything that you've learned throughout the game in terms of combat. Sometimes even a good puzzle boss if it's handled well. Soul Reaver, for example. Oh yeah, get used to the color gray because that's all we are going to see in this video and probably the next one. And yes, I wanted to pick up that explosive, but I could not remember what button did that.
Haven't you had enough? I don't have time for pest control. Oh, I miss our Raccoon City hospitality.
My understanding is they do play up that nostalgia. That's what I was going to talk about earlier. That's the whole reason we're back in supposed Raccoon City, even though none of these places are familiar. Keep in mind, Raccoon City was supposed to be a small Midwestern town, not this big metropolis that would have a subway. That would be reserved for a bigger city. And that makes more sense that a company would take up residence in a smaller town if they're up to shady stuff because there are fewer people to notice if something goes wrong. But that's not what we get.
Okay, Sherry. I've hit the barricade. Looks like someone else was here first, and they were planning on busting their way in. No way around?
The Army Corps of Engineers erected it to seal the city. It goes on for miles.
Guess the only way in is through then.
Welcome, kids, to our goal of this chapter. Finding an explosive. Huzzah.
Now, whose camp is this?
Well, we are about to find out.
Sure, there's an old BSAA camp here. Place is trashed. Looks like they left in a hurry.
What were the BSAA doing in Racoon City?
Interesting.
What is it?
The computer's not locked. And they were also headed to the center of Raccoon City.
Interesting, too. That reminds me. I dug a little deeper in the Pentagon's database, and I noticed something's missing.
What's that?
There's no record of anyone ordering the missile strike on Raccoon City.
Well, if not them, then who?
Leon triggered the alarm. It looks like your campaign to make the DSO stand down really didn't work, Zeno.
I'll leave this matter to you, then.
Okay, and these are our save points, and there's also a shop here. So his offer that. And of course, going by the original Resident Evil 3, yes, the missile strike was ordered by the president, and that was confirmed in the original Resident Evil 6, which I hope gets a remake. So you can save your game there, and you can see the little thing on the right, that is the shop. Where you actually get the items from, I don't know. Why Leon can't just break into it and take everything he wants, I don't know. I could ask that same question for Dead Space. A better game. I was hoping to crouch and get under this thing and move faster, but that didn't exactly work out. Hey, more darkness. Huzzah. Actually, I don't think this area was too bad. I get lost in it, but then again, everything looks the same.
Strange. Where are all the bodies?
Maybe nobody was in here when the outbreak happened. You never know. Why are you just assuming? Took me a minute to find that. There are several things hanging on the ceiling that we have to shoot down. In case you're wondering, no, I'm not a fan of the shoot the wooden blocks out of the gears section of the original Resident Evil 4. And here I'm panicking because I know zombies are coming. This is my second attempt at doing this part. I got a lot more lost my first attempt at doing this, and I'm pretty sure this is where I made my stand on my first attempt. So I bought a new shotgun. That is not the only time I will shoot that wall. It's pretty good. I like it. Leon starts with such terrible weapons. It is no bueno. And I'm not digging this music. At least there is music, but it's not great. Sweet. There are a couple more zombies roaming about. I don't remember exactly where they are. On this attempt, I'm not actually going to find them. I stumble on where we need to go, which is very nice. Alley-oop. Yeah, see, now we're back to silence. There will be more music as soon as we get jumped again. Hey, look, more zombies. Huzzah!
Damn it.
Apparently, these are mutated T-virus zombies somehow. I know there's a whole lore behind what's happening here, but I don't know anything about it, and I don't care. Again, they retconned the games that I care about, so fuck them. But they're not going to care because if they come out with another game, I will probably buy it. Although in this case, this isn't my fault. A friend of mine bought this one for me. Yeah, it took me a while. I don't know if you actually need to shoot that down. Probably there's some kind of an extra for doing that, but I never go back to explore it. Or it's a red herring, one of the two. But we can pop that guy's melon? Wait, that sounded gross. Damn it. Well, Grace could pop my melon anytime. Oh, yeah. Ah, you thought because we're playing as Leon the whole video I wasn't going to be a perv. You were wrong. Out of my way. Now, the problem I ran into here was I didn't realize I needed to shoot the thing holding this up. So I could have ran from these things, but who cares? I do play Resident Evil to shoot zombies, so I'm not exactly complaining here. Unlike most of this video. Plus, it gives me an excuse to use this shotgun, which you're going to see me use a lot. There we go. Yeah, I would have liked to have test played this section. It would have made for a smoother video. However, there are very few manual save points, and I don't know if there are any paths you can unlock to go back to ones we've already been to. Now here's a section, and we will see this aesthetic a lot in this video. This reminds me a lot of areas in the Killing Antidote, for anybody who's seen me LP that game.
Bad news, Sherry. This place is overrun with zombies.
What? That's impossible. They should have all been wiped out by the missile.
Yeah, they should have.
And in the original, they were. In the remake, I guess not so much. No, I'm not going to stop harping on that because it really does piss me off. And the original timeline was never given a conclusion either. I remember after playing 3, I went back to play 1 and 2, and I was really stoked for some kind of ultimate takedown of Umbrella where you would play as Jill, Chris, Leon, Claire, Rebecca, Barry, and go after them. And of course the facility would be overrun by zombies and everything else.
There should be a part for the detonator somewhere around here.
Awesome. And it would have been great. But that's not what we got. And we saw that in 4 make for sure. That might have been in Village as well. Or even 7, I'm not sure. But all for nostalgia, they decided, hey, let's retcon this. I'm guessing that must work on people?
Sherry, found the distributor. 2 more parts and I can jerry-rig the detonator for that gate.
Great. Can you see any more from your position?
I know the BSAA camp. That should have the signal receiver.
I don't know, but does a bomb really require that many parts? It might. I'm asking the question because, no surprise, I've never handled explosives. And I don't want to either. I would be in pieces.
Relays over there, huh? That should be a fun trip. Got the location for those parts. Going to collect them now.
Okay. I'll look into the BSAA in the meantime.
Epic. So I shot a couple zombies over here. And I think there's a raccoon you can shoot. But I couldn't find it. Which is a shame. I also got a new pistol. You will see that later. It'll make a brief appearance in this video. And I upgraded the sniper rifle. There is a semi-auto one you can get. But my inventory was full, so I had no way of going and getting it. Unless I wanted to discard the stuff I have, which was not happening. Unlike 4Make, you don't have any kind of a storage box for your weapons. Awesome. So you might say to yourself, well, hey, you just came across another camp. What's the problem? True, I did come across another camp, and that is fine. That is the last one we are going to find this video. And this took me forever to play. I am cutting out a lot of nonsense. I understand nostalgia can be a pretty addicting drug in a way. Here's more darkness. I get nostalgic whenever I hear certain songs, or basically music is what makes me nostalgic. If I watch an episode of Stargate SG-1 and I hear some music that reminds me of the first time I saw that episode, then I get a little nostalgic for that. But I never want to revisit it in a new episode or anything. Like, I don't want Resident Evil going back to Raccoon City because that storyline was supposed to be over. That is something you can sell that I will have to discard for more important stuff later. Because again, no access to a shop. There might be a path to one that I'm not aware of. I could easily see that be the case. Fortunately, where I'm going to leave off, I checked and I did get a checkpoint. So at least I can start off where I left off. So that is nice. But I'm not somebody who looks for nostalgia in media. I remember that show Star Trek Picard had a lot of member berries, especially season 3. And my feeling is, yeah, I remember a lot of TNG, but if I want to feel nostalgic for TNG or Deep Space Nine, I will watch episodes of those shows. I don't need to be reminded of it in something new. And that's not saying writers can't bring up something old in a new piece of media, but it has to be genuine. It can't be just for nostalgia's sake or it's going to feel forced. I intended to jump off of this, but Leon decided he did not want to play it cool. So I'm not sure what, but annoying, I guess. Yeah, there's no memorable music in this game, unfortunately. Oh, hey, look, we know it's a Resident Evil game now because we have a valve handle. Huzzah! There will also be a crank in this video. We're getting all the classics! And no, not Leon's. This is not a sausage edition after all. It is still technically a ballistics edition. As you can tell, we will see Grace briefly. Yeah, another dark area where everything looks the same. But I don't know, does nostalgia like that? Do member berries work on people in things like video games and TV shows? I'm assuming they do, considering writers keep throwing them in. I don't need a reminder of the old Resident Evil games because I can just play the old Resident Evil games. I'm trying to target the zombie behind this thing first because I don't want it to become a Crimson Head. I wish I used a better weapon to do that, considering video game shotguns, they're not known for distance. But maybe it worked out okay. And at this point, I don't know where the zombie is. And I almost run right into him. I guess it's still a zombie. I actually don't mind these enemies. It's a kind of interesting risk-reward thing if my impression of them is accurate, in that you can kill them easier by shooting these weak spots, but doing so causes zombies around to turn into Crimson Heads. I like that whole risk-reward thing. That is pretty cool. I approve! See, I can compliment this game too. It's just the Leon sections are better. One thing I've noticed is the reason I'm enjoying this game as much as I am, and that may be a surprise to some people considering how much bitching I've done this video. But the reason I've enjoyed this game so much is because I've modded out all the shit that I don't like as much as I could anyways. I've got a brighter flashlight, which helps with the darkness. It's not perfect, but it does help. I have used mods to make the stalker enemies not a problem, for the most part. Or at least a very limited problem. Get on the ground. Why I'm not using another weapon, I don't know. Actually, in this case, that was a good call, having the shotgun equipped. So I upgraded the rifle. I bought a new pistol, upgraded that. Bought this shotgun, upgraded that. Bought a machine gun, which you've seen briefly. And I'm going to pick up an Uzi, which I'll probably end up selling because it's probably not as good as the machine gun I have. But I'll look at the stats and decide. And I bought an infinite ammo rocket launcher, which I will use once this video. I'm not going to abuse it unless I have to. And the infinite health is gone. I took that off. Anybody who was mad about that in the last video, I would ask you, do you really want to see harm coming to Grace? Oh, speaking of Grace, because I've got more bitching to do. Awesome. There wasn't enough of that. I don't understand what they were thinking writing that sequence with Emily becoming a monster, Leon having to shoot her, and then Grace freaking out. Now, all of that could make sense on its own. And I know how this plays out at the end, and it gets really stupid. And I understand Grace is not used to this whole zombie thing. She's not used to losing somebody that she has at least interacted with. Although I'm not sure if Leon's dealt with that either. I guess depending on which run is canon, you might have seen Marvin do that in the 2 remake. I understand that would cause her to freak the fuck out. And given what a scaredy cat Grace was at the start of this game, I get that. I really do. However, why would she knowingly go with people she knows are evil? That doesn't make sense. Now, I did try to fix that in a way with some added dialogue. So my thought process is she knows Emily is still alive and thinks maybe there's a cure. That's what I'm going with, but that's not what is presented in the game. I thought about editing that cutscene to cut out a lot of that, but I decided that's a lot of extra work I didn't want to do. I'm just trying to not get surrounded here. This would have been a good place for the machine gun, but oh well. I'll use it later, maybe. If I end up in a situation where I'm not swarmed, I will try to break out the pistol a little more. I think we will be seeing it here in a bit. I was really happy I just happened to be right where I need to be. I could easily have seen me get turned around in this area. Oh, be sure to hit melee there. Easy kill. Excelente. Drink blazing electric death, asshole. Don't rest yet because another guy is going to come through that door. Or try to. And he's a dick too. See? He's a dick. Fuck that guy. The thing is, they could have dealt with that plot hole in such an easy way. Just Sherry Burke in the situation. Let Leon and Grace realize that Emily is infected. They realize she's going to turn into one of those monsters. And then you could have Grace go with these people wanting a cure, which is what I'm going with. And here's where that Uzi is. So I had to do some inventory jiggery pokery to pick it up. I won't say what Ty would say for messing with an inventory because, yeah, we're just not going to do that. All I will say is I would jiggle Grace's junk anytime. Oh yeah. And I'm going to leave it at that. Also be careful because you can fall off of this. It won't game over you, but it is annoying. I found that out a couple of times. I could see an abandoned city working as far as a game environment. It's not really doing anything for me in this game, but I could see that working. So it is irritating to me when I can see a story plotline that's so poorly done and I can immediately think of a better way of doing it. Then again, writing has never been the modern Resident Evil's strong suit. People like to make fun of the original Resident Evils, but the newer games are just as bad in terms of writing. Just in a different way. Yet I'm still playing the game. I can't get enough, I guess.
Encountered 3 infected and eliminated them. That's correct, sir. Do we proceed?
So the rumors are true? What rumors? The missile wasn't just about stopping the spread. Don't be ridiculous.
Affirmative. Listen up. Our objective hasn't changed. We rendezvous with the advanced party in the center of Raccoon City, then head for Ark. Our mission is to retrieve Elpis. Move out! Man down!
Jesus, fuck!
Where is he? I'm fucking blind here!
Oh, God! Oh, my fucking leg! Get cover! Get cover! Please help me! Holy shit!
short fuse.
What are we doing here?
All in good time. You'll see.
Epic. And now we get to shoot this down.
Send some footage your way, Sherry.
What the hell?
The guy at the end. White suit. Can you find anything on him?
Yeah, hold on. The database is coming up empty.
So there are ghosts involved with Elpis, too.
Keep in mind, as far as we know, Leon has never encountered Wesker. That's apparently not Wesker. Apparently it's a Wesker clone, which was a stupid plot line introduced in 5. But I guess we have it now. In the original 4, Leon knew who Wesker was. I don't remember if he knows who Wesker is in the remake. But as far as we know, he's never seen what Wesker looks like. So Chris or Jill might have reacted to that, even Claire, but Leon, not so much. Other than wondering what the hell. There's the pistol in all its glory. Yeah, it's got a silencer on it. I don't think the silencer reduces damage. A lot of games it does, which is stupid as hell. And guns with a suppressor are never that quiet. That's not how that works, actually. That is more of a Hollywood thing. Right, so now we need gas. I'm not sure if the game's explained why we need to do this, but we need to do it. Epic. I'm gonna need those health items. I guess if you look around a little bit, you'll see the machine that we need the gas for. And it powers a lock to a door for some reason. Maybe it's a generator, which you would think would lead to a camp. So you could save and stop.
Let me guess. You must be the town lumberjack.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah, I had been playing for a while at this point, and after I finished this segment, I wanted to stop. And I had to keep going because I could not find a camp. Again, there might be one around here somewhere and I'm just not aware. But I didn't find it. That's not what I wanted to aim at. There you go. Yeah, these zombies like to get close to you, which makes sense. They're zombies. So that's part of why I don't really change weapons too often. The shotgun is good at dealing with enemies that are really close. I kind of get it, but I don't really like the chainsaw spinning on the ground. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't love it. That was cool. I like that. See, if I really wanted to cheese this, I could use the rocket launcher or the Magnum. But I'm not doing that. Yes, I know I used the rocket launcher once, but that was for fun. And I don't like dudes with chainsaws. And I'm wondering if I should ever... No, because nobody ever donated to Patreon, so I can't tell the chainsaw story. Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell I shot there. Out of my face. just like in the hospital, these dudes will pick up the chainsaw. Yeah, I wanted to turn and aim at this guy, but okay, game. Okay. Fuck you. And I'm gonna shoot him again out of spite in a moment. All right, we need to hurry this up because in my new place, the air conditioner is so loud, I have to turn it off when I go to do commentary. And I do not live in a state that is cool, so it is starting to get a little bit unpleasant.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, all I wanted to do was move this somewhere where they couldn't get them. But now I'm stuck with it, which sucks. And let the panic begin. Screw you. I'm not sure how I did that, but hey. I lived, so that's the important thing. And the best part is, I think I got all my complaints out. To be fair, I haven't done a video where I complain most of the time in a while. I don't really like doing those. And some of it is I had things I wanted to say and I would get distracted by things happening in the game. So that did prolong it a little bit. Now the question is, starting next video, will I have more complaints? Probably. Oh, I think there's a raccoon in here and it was irritating me, so fuck that thing. Stupid thing making sounds. And unfortunately, that is not all of the enemies for this video. We got more. I was pretty done at this point. I know somebody's going to post a comment. Oh, hey, there was a save point right there. Probably the games librarian will do it. Well, it doesn't help me now. I love how we get these animations and they don't show the hands of the character doing it. It's weird. That's all I'm saying. Oh, and speaking of Ark. See, I can't remember now. I was going to make a Dino Crisis 2 reference because I feel like that base was called Ark. And I was going to say it would be nice if they referenced Dino Crisis 2, but now I can't remember. I might be confusing that with a Dreamcast game called Carrier. One of those two had something called Ark. I'll have to look that up. If it was Dino Crisis 2, they had better have a reference to that game. They probably won't, but they should. But it might be Carrier. A game I have wanted to play for many years now, even though I don't think it's going to be that great. I was hoping this would lead back to that original street where I could get to a camp. This would have been a good place for one. And my inventory is full, so I had to heal and then pick up another med injector, which I probably needed to heal anyway, so it's fine. And I did explore this area trying to find a camp. There is one on the map, but I could not figure out a way to get to it. And I could have gone up those stairs, which I will in a moment, but there are items. apparently you can go in Kendo's gun shop. And we will be going in the RPD. So I guess we're going to explore all of that later. Should be fun. Do you see what I mean? This game needs music. It's too quiet, damn it! And I did finally get everything moved over to the new place, which is very nice. I still have a few things to move out of the old place, but that's all either trash or stuff I want to pawn. So I'm basically out, which is nice. Oh shit. Oh yeah, that's right. Those BSAA guys? Yeah, they're now zombies with machine guns because this worked so well in Resident Evil 6. And everybody liked that game, right? Right? I know I didn't. I do feel it is done better here so far. But I don't know. I don't play Resident Evil to play some kind of military shooter. Yes, I know they've had their moments like that. 5, Chris's campaign of 6. Actually, just 6 in general. But it's not exactly why I play these games. It's no fun when they're shooting back. Plus, as I mentioned before, I don't like 6 at all. One of the worst games I've ever played. And I don't like those sections in 5. So I have a bad feeling about them bringing back zombies with guns. I don't think this is going to go well. I have never seen a door open like this. Ever. Even in the 90s. But we got a crank. It is a Resident Evil staple after all. See, this game gets some things right. And that is a shortcut, but not back to a save point. Nope. No save points for Reaver. There's monsters. Just die. Thank you. Or cease to exist. It was already dead. Whatever. I thought there was another zombie out here. Maybe the explosion got him? Awesome. So next video, we will start off with a section that I get the feeling is going to annoy me. This is an interesting camera perspective. It's zoomed out a lot more, as you can see.
Should be just up here.
I kind of like this. This would be nice if the game did this more often, just to make it easier to see what's going on. Either way, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Requiem.